Halo, sema, umefika wapi? Ah, wow, that is a long time. Okay, sawa, nitaifanya tu jioni. Hi guys, welcome to another video. Well, today I was supposed to come in and do a video, but I found my brother had taken most of my stuff and gone out to do his own video, and we hadn't talked about it, so that was a mistake on my side. That's why there's no good lighting right now, so the light might vary, in and out. That's why we don't use natural light for doing videos, because it's constantly changing. But now that we are talking about a missing light and light changing all the time, have you actually thought about how light behaves? Now, when I think about it, I was just going through some stuff on the internet, and I just realized that very many photographers talk about camera equipment, talk about lenses, talk about lights, but no one really talks about the behavior of light. Okay, here's the thing. I think that a lot of photographers actually kind of know what light is and how to work a camera and how to capture light, but I feel that a lot of photographers don't pay attention to how light behaves and how light adds to the story that they're going to tell. I'm really struggling with this light, and I don't know, I just can't put my head together to work with awful lighting. I mean, every other video has been done with some sort of good lighting, so I think I should just go out to a friend's place and get a light and then come back. Yeah, so I'll see you guys once I've already set up everything. Bye. Hey, so I'm back. I really didn't want to take the camera out with me. Just wanted to go there, rush, get the light, come back and continue the video. This light is getting worse. The moment it goes down, it will get dark. So yeah, let me just set up everything and then we start. Alright guys, so I am done putting together the softbox. Let me show you. So I'm done putting together the softbox. This is what I used to light. So I just need to take this from down here and place it on that thing, and then we can sort of start the video. Okay guys, welcome to today's video. See, I'm exhausted. I have been to the house, I have left the house, I have come back, I have set up, I am tired. All in all, I think it is, now that I think that now I'm here, I think we should just go into the video straight away. Just jump in and do like a ton of stuff. So today's video is very heavily scripted, and I might have to be reading things off my computer. So yeah. Anyway, let's get into the behaviors of light. The behavior of light, I think, is something that is somewhat obvious to very many photographers. And by the mere fact that it is a bit obvious, a lot of us tend to overlook those behaviors while we are shooting. And that in itself results in people not really using light in an interesting way to tell. I don't know what's happening to me. People don't, because people overlook, the behavior of light, they are not able to incorporate interesting lighting into their images, and therefore not able to tell visually appealing, they're not able to take visually appealing images and therefore take visually, representative stories, visually nicely looking images. Basically, people do not use, because people overlook the basic behaviors of light, they are not able to take like visually appealing images. Some of these behaviors are very obvious, like of course you know that, but I think it is important that at this stage, and especially at this stage that we are studying this, that I am studying this channel, I just thought it is important to kind of throw it out there so that even for those of you that do watch the channel and really do not know much about photography and maybe are learning, you will get something from this, definitely. The first thing that we need to know about the behavior of light is that it is very predictable, and therefore that makes it very good news. If you're able to predict the way light is going to behave, then you can determine how to shoot a particular subject. So let's go into number one. The first behavior of light is that light has angle behavior. Angle behavior really, is the angular behavior of light. What this means is that light travels from the source. It travels in a straight line, hits a surface, hits a face, hits a wall, and then it bounces off that surface to your camera or to your eyes. So light has a very angular behavior. The light that travels to the surface is called an incident ray, and the light that bounces off that surface is called a reflected ray. Incident ray, reflected ray. This angle that exists between the incident and the reflected are all equal, and therefore you kind of know where it's going. I just realized I said so many things and they don't make sense. Maybe I should draw it for you guys. When it comes to understanding angle behavior of light, I thought it best to kind of illustrate it to you so that you kind of understand it better. So simply put, we're going to assume there is a surface here, like that, and we're going to assume there is a source of light here. So let's just say sun. Let's just assume sun, right? So light traveling from a light source to a surface always travels in a straight line, okay? And that light bounces off or is reflected off at a similar angle. So this is what was called the incident. This is what is called the reflected. And these two angles, R and I, are always the same. So I is equals to R. Simply put, that's all I was saying. So it is important as a photographer to know that this light coming from your flash or the sun or anywhere, once it gets into contact with the surface of like a reflector, it is going to be reflected at the same angle. Therefore, it is important for you to know where to position your light and to position a subject. Okay, now back to the video. So why is it important to understand the angular behavior of light? So it's important that as a photographer you know this, because you will be able to predict where light will be going to. I'll give you an example. If you're lighting a group using a flash or speed light, you might decide to take that flash, point it up towards a white ceiling, because you understand that light has an angular behavior. The light that goes up to the ceiling will bounce right back down to the crowd, and it will spread over a wide area, so you know you will be lighting your group very well. So the angular behavior of light is important because it helps you as the photographer predict where the light will be going to in reference to where it is coming from. Okay, so let's talk about the second behavior of light, which is the size behavior of light. So I do not know, but most of you have been, if you're a photographer, you may have gone to a studio. You may have found that a lot of photographers have massive softboxes, something close to what I have here. This is not the largest one there is. There are much larger softboxes than this, but you will find that very many photographers have very large light modifiers, such as this one. The reason is very many photographers are taught that the larger the source of light, the softer the light that you will get, something similar to what you're seeing here, and the smaller the source of light, the harder the light will get. So this to some extent is true, but it is not completely true. It is an oversimplification of what actually happens. The truth is that we are looking at the relative size of the light source to the subject. What that means is if the light source is much larger in size than the subject you're shooting, then the light will be very soft. But if the subject happens to be much larger than the light source, then what happens is that the light becomes very hard. And that is basically what happens when you're looking at the sizes of the lights. So we oversimplify this whole particular behavior of light and just say that get a large softbox and you'll get a soft light. But if I were to use like the softbox I have here on a subject like an elephant, the light would be very hard because relatively the elephant is much larger than my light source. So don't get it twisted. Alright guys, so we are down to the last behavior of light, which is color. So to kind of show you the effect that color has on light, I have some bags here. These are just, the ordinary bags that you buy at the supermarket or you buy on the street. They're colored. The thing about them is that though not completely transparent, they are translucent, and I think some light should be able to pass through here. So I am quickly going to tear down the softbox and we see the effect of the color on the light. So right, so you can see with the red one inside, the light passes through the material and carries the color of the material onto your subject. So a lot of photographers use these techniques to create some sort of creative portraits. This, whatever you're seeing, I'm sure it looks pretty awful, but that is pretty much the effect of color on light. In circumstances where the light does not pass through the object, it reflects off the surface with the color on that surface. This is something that a lot of photographers tend to forget, especially when they light their subjects while they're lying on walls. If the wall that the subject is lying on has a bright color, you will tend to see that color reflect off their skin. So it is important to pay attention in such situations. The second scenario where color affects light is when it comes to the two extremes of color, which is black and white. White meaning most reflection and black being the least reflected. So simply put, I think this is something that's obvious. Black absorbs light, right? And white reflects light. That's why you have a reflector with a black and a white side. So we use the white side to reflect the most light and we use the black side to take away light. I'm just going to demonstrate this because I really can't do this right now, but we can see, I hope you can see, but reflectors usually have a white side, and they also happen to have a gold side also, but they also happen to have a black side. Now the purpose of the white side is to reflect as much light as possible back into, I hope this is visible like in camera. Like I actually set the camera to like have this side of my face to be a bit dark, so if you're looking at it carefully, it should be brightening it up a little bit. I'm not sure, I can't see anything. Now the black side will do the opposite thing, because the black side will absorb all the light, and really it will just make this shadow side of mine even darker. So guys, that's pretty much it. So those are the three major behaviors of light that I think you should know. Essentially there are 5, but I couldn't film the other 2, so yeah, I think I'll do another video on the 2 some other time when I figure out how to film it and how to demonstrate it. But the 3 major behaviors of light you should know is light has angle behavior, You should know the size behavior of light, relative size of light to subject, and the third is the color behavior of light. And now that we are at the end of this video, like I said, sijui kuend video. See ya.